us today. So could you say your name and your title for the...
Hello, my name is Nemchenko, and I am a Supervisor Program Officer for Preferred Communities with USCRI headquarters.
Before you experienced displacement, what was home for you?
So I was born in Kyiv, in Ukraine, and that is my home. This is where I'm from. This is a very beautiful city, and I love that place. This is where my heart is. Before coming to the United States, I worked with humanitarian organizations in Ukraine. So when the war started in Ukraine, it was in 2014 with the invasion of Crimea. So when I worked in Mariupol, I worked in supporting people who were living along the line of contact. So the line of contact is basically that kind of unofficial border between Ukrainian government-controlled territories and Ukrainian non-government-controlled territories. So we were going to these remote villages where people still continue to live under shelling, under military activity. My main focus was on supporting people with the needs for protection. So documents, a lot of people lost their documents because quite a few people had to resettle from non-government controlled territories. It was a very hard time. But at that time already you had all military everywhere. You had checkpoints. You had to basically areas where normally people would not go. I remember in one of the women's space, it was very close to the line of contact. And I come out and I hear a heavy machine gun shooting. We don't know whether it's coming from this side or the other side. And so we called our security specialist, and they advised us to leave right away. And we tried to let women know that they need to go home. And they said, no, we're so used to it. So it was for them a daily routine.
What made you leave home?
So I worked with, before I came here, I worked, as I told, with humanitarian organizations. I worked with the Ukrainian Red Cross Society, supporting IDPs, internally displaced people across Ukraine, through a livelihoods project which provided small business grants, and were a lot of women who were displaced. A lot of them had a situation where their husband or partner would just leave and live in non-government controlled territories because they were from those areas of Ukraine. I wanted to learn more, to get more education in international development, and I applied for master's degree in international development program at GW, at George Washington University. And I was admitted. I came here to the United States and studied here, and then the COVID pandemic started. And I stayed here at that time. And then the full-scale invasion in Ukraine started. It was something, it was a very hard moment, I would say. It's a lot of different emotions. Everybody was in Ukraine, had a lot of friends, they had relatives who tried to flee Kyiv. Some had to stay, and because people were not prepared. People were mentally not prepared for something like that. For me at that time, I had conflicting emotions in myself. On the one hand, I wanted to go home and support my country. At the same time, I felt like I could help here too. So, and this is where I started looking for a job with a resettlement agency here in the United States. This is where I started applying for a job with USCRI. This is where I started working with Ukrainian humanitarian parolees, providing support through Devoted Communities program. It was very hard. It was very hard that we do not realize until something like that happens, that you can become yourself. You can feel that you're a refugee. You can feel that your country is in danger, that it's under threat, that it's being attacked. There is a very big fear at that time that you would lose that connection to your state, that you would lose connection to your country. It stops all of a sudden. Everything stops. People lose their jobs. People don't know what to do. So and even here, even being here, you feel that you're part of that, because you're not sure whether you can return on the one hand, whether you'll be able to return in the future. It's a completely different feeling when you have a native country, even though you live here, but you feel that connection with your ethnicity, with your nationality.
Can you tell us a bit about your life here, including the work you do with USCRI, and what inspires you to do that work?
It's a privilege to work with people who had to flee their home, and you are providing them support so that they are able to develop themselves, that they are able to find their place in life in the new country. It's very hard for people who, for example, live in their country or in one place for all their life, and then to understand somebody was resettled. So many people who left their homes with a couple of suitcases. So many people lost their houses. That's a big motivation to see and to understand that people who normally, under these circumstances, would have really hard time finding a place for themselves here, finding a job, finding a place to live, providing for their children. So they come here, they never experienced life here. They don't understand how the system, how the institutions work here, how to apply for the employment authorization. So we're working across the United States. We work with USCRI, regional offices, local offices. We work also with a lot of affiliate organizations. And we provide services for the most vulnerable refugees. Some people need a lot of support, and then we have intensive case management for them. And some of our clients need just a boost in their and some explanation of how to start their life here. And we're happy when people phase out, basically, that their case is closed, and we know that that they became self-sufficient. That is an excellent outcome of our work.
What would you encourage our neighbors and communities to do in solidarity with refugees and others who have been displaced?
Try to understand. First of all, remember that the United States is the country of immigrants. This is the country which is based on different communities who had to resettle. A lot of people who came here, they had to flee hard, volatile environments where they used to live, where they were born, where their country was. They came here and they found their new home here. The refugees come here not because they want to, because they have to. They come here, and we need to understand the endurance of newcomers. People are very receptive, but people get frustrated over time. It becomes hard for them, especially if they don't have knowledge of English language, for example. We need to find ways in ourselves to understand that it takes time, and we need to be receptive of this frustration. We need to be receptive of this struggle of people who just came into a completely new country. They bring a lot of new experience, and they enrich the new communities. Yes, we're so used to the way we're living here, like nobody wants to step out of the comfort zone. But this is where we can.